Okay, maybe this will work again. Let me just keep an eye on the bit rate. Make sure it's not, like, dying. Okay, bit rate is stabilized enough that it should be working.
Okay.
So, just checking on everyone. Okay. Yeah, on Twitch it's up.
Then YouTube should be good then too, right?
I was gonna say YouTube was fine.
Yeah.
So as long as it stays that way. Good?
I think so.
Alright.
I'm good on my end.
Perfect. You know, everything looks good on my end. It's all working, I should say. Alright. Well,
Still sitting at 2-0.
it's still 2-0.
Yeah.
Hey, they need to score one more goal, and they've scored pretty handily this whole time, so I'm not too worried about it.
Just gotta get one more. Be a nice little sweep for like the third time in 5 slates. Something like that in soccer.
Hey, I just want to congratulate anybody that has been with us since the 15th, because we've had, like, I don't even know how many people. We only just added the stat to track how many people get the packages. Whomever has been with us since the 15th, and if you're betting, like, $100 units is up $1,900 on a $50 package. Congrats on your financial decision.
For real.
Like, goddamn. It's not even funny, like, at this point. Soccer's just killing it.
Yeah. I mean, it's been a good start to our year. That is for sure. If we can get this last one today, like plus 105, I think is where it was. Already
Okay.
won our 2-unit bet for this morning. So we've already guaranteed a winning day. It's just seeing if we can
Yeah.
get this last one again. Already got 2, just need one more, and got over a half to play. So
Do you think people are sick of you on Twitter tweeting out, "Hey, we just won another one"?
hey, I hope so. Click the link.
Oh my gosh. I love dealing with people on Twitter. It's so funny.
It's just trolls.
It is. But it's great. Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
It's so hilarious.
it's pretty funny.
Okay.
I mean, a
Well,
lot of people are just impression farming, and it's just
yeah.
they're just being idiots.
Well, okay. In respect to that, we do also have to acknowledge the fact that, like, 99% of people who claim to be sports bettors on there are just people who are trying to collect a check.
I mean,
And
that's just
but that's like
it's tough
anybody.
because I mean that I'll put it like this: that is easily my biggest pet peeve of this entire industry
Mm-hmm.
is all the scammers and people that claim or think that they're an expert when in reality the amount of people that can actually do this for a living is so small that like they aren't making any money on it as a profession.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you claim to be an expert or you follow someone who claims to be an expert or that does this and they're not showing you bet slips, they're lying to you.
Yeah.
Like everybody likes to talk about how they always win, and in reality, that's just not the case.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it doesn't matter who you are in this industry. Everybody's gonna have losing weeks, losing days, even losing months. I mean, we've had a great year so far with Bats Bets, and we've had 1 month so far where we dropped some
Yeah.
units. Like
Yeah.
everybody does it. You're not gonna get around it. Anybody who claims that they don't have losing weeks, months, they're lying to you.
How
Because
about the
at the end
people
of the
that
day,
claim that they're like they've only lost like 2 bets since
oh
October
yeah,
or
or
something?
like they go on like you go with a Vegas Dave type 140 straight in Major League Baseball, and it's just like no,
It's like
that's just not real. I mean, nobody hits consistently year after year over 60%.
right.
You just don't.
It's
I mean,
just the industry.
sports books are too smart. Like it's too. it's just not a thing. I mean, I'll put it like this: for us, we're over 57% on the year with
Mm-hmm.
with about over 2,000 units bet.
Which
We've
is
had a
crazy.
phenomenal year. Like we
Crazy.
have been absolutely insane, and like we're at 57.
Yeah.
I mean, anybody who says anybody who claims that they have a lock, there's no such thing as a lock. I mean,
Yeah.
a play of the year, there's no such thing as a play of the year. Like people use those terms in order to confuse and manipulate the casual betters,
Yeah.
and it's just that like I said, that is my biggest pet peeve with it. Oh, and people who only talk about the algorithm or the model or whatever that they do, it's like
Mm-hmm.
no model can predict the future. No
Yeah.
algorithm is going to be able to accurately 100% predict the future. It doesn't matter what you're using. It's just
Right.
not a thing. I mean, and like we use our algorithm that we have in the coding that you created, and it's very good. But
Mm-hmm.
you can't just take that. You have to take all that with a grain of salt because people again are using that to manipulate casual bettors, manipulate people that view content, and it's
Yeah.
just not right. I
Well,
mean,
yeah.
if at the end of the day, if they're not showing you tickets, they aren't betting.
Well, and that's why we post all of our tickets to Instagram,
Mm-hmm.
and everyone sees the exact bets that we do. We're not afraid to
Yeah,
post losses, like, because the fact of the matter is, we just win more than we lose. Like,
yeah, we can
don't
be
care.
transparent because we win like that.
Yeah.
And I mean, and that's just the thing with real betters. If you're following somebody on, we'll say Twitter, and they give out free plays and it's a graphic, okay, you get the
Yeah.
team logo, you get the spread. The likelihood that they didn't bet it,
Yeah.
you will never see us post one of those without posting a ticket along with it. If they're
Yeah.
gonna post that and go through the time to post that, why not just post their bet slip of them putting X amount of dollars on the line?
Right.
But in
Like,
reality,
we
they don't
literally
because
go
they don't
through
do it.
and screenshot after, like, after the bet is done. We just go into. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, it's mostly MGM, I want to say,
With soccer, it's a lot of
for
MGM just
soccer at
because.
least.
Yeah,
Um,
I mean, and
but literally, you just hop in the bet. You go to the little settled tab,
MGM
and
MGM's tickets are also one of the reasons why we use MGM a lot. Is it's easy to as on like as a visual.
yeah,
It's easy to tell when a bet won, when a bet lost. It's not
yeah,
confusing at all, and I mean it's just kind of
yeah,
like that. But like I said, you'll
nice
never
and
see
easy.
us create graphics without a bet
Yeah,
slip to back it up.
yeah.
It's just tacky,
Well,
but
and
everybody does it. So
it's also kind of sad because most of the industry. I mean, you're gonna jump at me with the statistics. I know, but I know like it's like 95% of the industry is
I mean,
like.
that's kind of the rule that I use with it. It's the easiest way to explain it. It's not like a concrete cut and dry rule, but
Mm-hmm.
you're talking about the 95-4-1.
That's what it is. Yep.
Yeah,
I
where
didn't
like
remember
I
what it
forget
was.
exactly where I got that. I got that a while ago. Where 95% of people are going to lose money doing this. 4% of people are going to break even, maybe up a little bit, maybe down a little bit, and then
Mm-hmm.
1% of the just kills the market.
Yeah.
Um, and it's just one of those things. Like there's a lot of basketball players, there aren't a lot of NBA players. There's a lot
Mm-hmm.
of people who bet on sports. There aren't a lot of pro sports bettors.
Yeah.
Like, I
Just
mean,
is what
it's
it is.
just that simple. And it just comes down to margins. It comes down to getting your money in good every time. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, like, but if you are in that 1%, like we are, I mean, we've been doing this
Yeah.
between the two of us. We have over a decade worth of experience in betting, and
Fuck
coding,
yeah.
and different things like that. Like, if you are in that 1%, you can run the industry, and that
Right.
isn't. And when I say 1%, I'm not talking about biggest Twitter accounts or biggest
Yeah.
YouTube
Well,
channels
because most of
or
those
whoever
people are
gets a lot
fake
of views.
anyway.
They aren't real
Like,
bettors. Like we
right.
live in Las Vegas. On my iPad, I have 11 different apps that I use to bet. Like it's another like the
Same.
whole one sports book thing. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's if you have one sports book, you're doing yourself a disservice because you can't shop lines. We
Yeah.
use 11.
Mm-hmm.
That's being a pro.
Yeah.
Like, um, and again, a lot of people with a lot of those followers, that doesn't mean anything. Like,
Well, and
congratulations to
you
them.
can post like pics and there can be absolutely no research behind it whatsoever and you could still hit Like,
hence the algorithm.
yeah, like
Yeah.
you can do whatever. That's totally fine. Like, they can do however you want, but if you're not making money off of that, there's no reason to
Yes.
follow those
I mean,
people.
they're
Like, it
just
makes
trying to
no
build
sense.
up followers with free picks, and then you highlight the wins. You don't because, and you can do that when you're not actually betting money, because
Mm-hmm.
you're not actually losing money. I mean, like for us, been doing this tracking bets for like over a decade now. I
Right.
mean, it's you just, and that's one of the like as far as a beginning sports better, that's kind
Mm-hmm.
of what all that stemmed from is
Yeah.
you got to track your bets first and foremost. Do it all on paper. Like again, I did this for years. You know this because you were right there. I have
Well, yeah.
notebooks from when I was 16, 17 years old,
Mm-hmm.
tracking bets because I knew this is kind of what I wanted to do.
Right.
Because you, at the end of the day, you have to prove to yourself first that you can make money doing this.
Yeah.
Don't lie to yourself. That's very important. Include the juice. Don't lie, because if you lie to yourself when you're tracking, all that's going to do is cost you money later on. And
Yeah.
believe me, there's a lot of bumps in the road. At the end of the day, this is very much a roller coaster type lifestyle.
Yeah.
But you got to go through the growing pains, and if you can go through those growing pains while you're writing it down in a notebook instead of going to a window and putting $100 or so on the line,
Mm-hmm.
you can kind of get your process and figure everything out before. And if that's not for you, fine. I mean, just visit batsbets.com. We'll do it all for
We'll do
you,
it for you.
and you'll make a ton of money, as evident by our soccer package success so far in just 2 weeks.
And like I said, congrats on the people who made almost, if you're doing $100 bets, congrats on the people who are up almost $2,000 on a $50 package.
Yep. I mean, and
That's all
again,
I'm
and
saying.
that's a $50 package for a full 30 days. And we started that back up really with the European soccer getting going on. I believe it was the 15th. So
Yes, it
between
was
the
the 15th.
15th and today, which is the
11
26th,
days up.
you're up $2,000 on $100 units. I mean,
Yeah,
and if you're up $1,000 units, you've almost made $20,000 in 2 weeks, and
which is
that's where you got to
crazy.
get to. I mean,
Crazy.
and that's where you can get to with us. And
Mm-hmm.
congrats to those that are already there because they've been with us for a minute.
Literally. And like I said, we post everything. We're completely transparent. Call us out on our bullshit, but I'll direct you to our Instagram where
Yeah.
go see. That's fine.
Yep. I
You don't
mean,
have to
because
believe
again,
me.
everybody thinks they're an expert. Everybody thinks they can make money doing this.
As
But
noticed on Twitter.
I mean, sports books have a lot of bright lights and very good, high quality LED screens for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if
Factual.
everybody was sports betting or gambling Twitter, that would not be the case. But
Yeah.
alas, as we stated a little while ago, they aren't actually betting. I mean,
Right.
those people could walk in. I mean, it's like you see all those tickets where you get I put $10,000 down. I put
Yeah,
all
the
these
fake
tickets to
ones.
win hundreds of thousands of dollars that are just blatantly fake because sports books, one, they're not going to take that type of action from a
Yeah.
quote unquote nobody.
Well, and that's what
Like,
a lot of people don't realize is that that's not a thing.
oh yeah,
Like
that's just to
when
manipulate casual people into thinking that they could hit that same home run on a parlay. That
yeah,
just you're not going to make money on parlays.
like
One of the worst bets you can make.
it's just not a thing.
Yeah.
Respectfully, there's not a singular sports book that is going to take a 20 team parlay that they have
No,
to
most
pay you
can't even
$2
do more than
million
10.
dollars.
Yeah.
That is, people just get paid to post. And it's the
Mm-hmm.
same thing with like the social media, everything like that, how everyone is so focused on getting followers because then followers get brand deals and
Yep.
those sort of things. That's literally all they're going for. And then they get paid $5,000 from Caesar, not going to name names, but you know, the individual that has to buy an extra, extra
Yeah, talked
couple
about that. Hey, he won his bet.
points on
That
the
doesn't mean it was a good bet. I know who you're
yeah,
talking about.
but like that individual probably got paid between $5,000 and $10,000 to make that post and to have right next to their graphic Caesar Sportsbook. Here's a promotional deal. Like
I mean,
that's
like,
the only reason that they do those things, and it's kind of
here's the thing.
upsetting overall. But It's
and
whatever.
and I was had this discussion with somebody in that individual's comment section.
Yeah.
The bet itself, and it won. It ended up winning.
Yeah.
For those who don't know, it was an alternate line on Georgia Tech. They got plus 12 and a half. Sometimes in sports betting, the outcome of a bet does not indicate if it was a good or bad bet. And this is one of those instances. He was on the right side. Georgia Tech was the better football team. We actually had Florida State be the first one to admit I was wrong. We lost. Ticket is posted on our Instagram if you don't believe me. It's there.
Yes.
But that line opened Florida State minus 13. Okay. It got bet all the way down to, I think it got to 10 before Sharps brought it back to 10 and a half.
Yes.
He bought 2.5 points or 2 points or so on the line. Now, each half point represents about 20 cents, meaning from minus 110 to minus 130. So, for example, to get it to 11 would have been about minus 130. 11 and a half, minus 150. 12, minus 170. 12 and a half, which is the line that he had, minus 190. All right. Now, at minus 190, your break-even point is 65 and a half, 65.51%. So instead of betting it early like a real handicapper would have and got a better number, because he would have got plus 13 is where it opened at circa. For minus 110, where you have to hit 52.38 to break even, he bought to 12 and a half, paid probably around minus 190 to do so, and didn't even get the best number. So instead of minus 190, 12 and a half, he should have had plus 13, plus 12 and a half, plus 13 at minus 110. That's why it's a bad bet. The best handicappers in the world, again, and we're in the contest, but you get like the Circa Millions. You hit 65% in the Circa Millions, and you're competing for a win.
Yeah.
To win millions of dollars.
That's millions of dollars.
That's his break-even point on that bet.
Yeah.
Like, think about it. That's why it was a bad bet. It had very little to do with the actual outcome of the play. Again, he won his bet. Congrats. He cashed his ticket. The people who tailed that bet cashed their tickets. Great on them. Again, to us, I don't care. It has zero impact on us. But that doesn't mean that it was a good wager. Because again, if he was actually a sports bettor, and that's where I got the whole graphic thing from, because you will never see him post an actual ticket. He just has good-looking graphics. Again, we're not going to name this individual.
You already did.
I don't think I did.
You did.
Whatever. If I did, I don't care. But he has all of his graphics done. He's never posted one bet slip. He's got 275,000 followers on Twitter.
Yeah.
Those type of posts, he probably got about 250K interactions on just those, which when you include all the other stuff, it leads to him making money monetized on Twitter. That's how he makes his money. He isn't making his money betting, and he's doing a disservice to the people following him by posting stuff like that when he should have bet it 3 months prior if that was his play, and you go from there. But again, people are going to follow who they want to follow. Just because somebody has a lot of followers on Twitter does not mean that they're actually very good at this, and in most instances, they're not. And this individual is just one of those examples.
Unfortunately. But, and it's also like you said, like, people are going to believe what they want to believe. That's why we have our tickets posted everywhere. And we'll just go from there, Like, if you don't want to make an extra $2,000 a month betting $100 units right now, that's totally fine. That's up to you. Now, it's not my place to tell you what financial decision to make, but I would ask anyone if their 401k has made $20,000 this year yet.
It depends on how much would be in it as far as that goes, but...
Well, because most people put like a couple $100s to their 401k.
Yeah, and then typically it'll get matched by the companies, but you just talk about returns and percentages.
Right.
Like, when you're looking at us, just on the year so far, we're at, as I mentioned, 57.3% is exactly where we're at right now. We are up 171.62 units so far on the year. Okay, you can do the math. That means on $10 units, just betting $10 per bet, you are up over 1,700 year to date.
Yeah.
You just got very bright.
I did. Yeah. No, it's
Yeah,
because I pulled up
like
the Juventus match scores.
$100. Yeah, I still have that. $100 per bet individual like client of batsbets.com
Mm-hmm.
is up 17 grand. $1,000 better is up over $171,000 this year. And let's just put it into perspective. $1,000 better. Our year package is $1,500. Our per month is $150, but our year package is $1,500. So for a $1,500 investment with $1,000 unit size, you could
Mm-hmm.
be up over $170,000 worth of profit on
Yeah.
the year.
Yeah.
Like that's what's up. I mean, and again, we show tickets. There's no BS. There's no
It is crazy.
lying.
It is
They are
crazy.
all posted. We are as transparent as humanly possible. We are easy to reach. If you have any questions,
Mm-hmm.
you can get a hold of me. Everything is right there on our website in the post tab. Once you're a client,
Yep.
you can post comments. Um, there's a lot of different things you could do to get in touch with me if you have a question, and I'm willing to help. Because
And
again, at the
Twitter.
end of the
You can
day,
always tweet at him too.
yeah, just if you say something stupid, I'm probably gonna fire back.
That is true. He
But
does have a tongue.
I mean, getting kind of back to the stocks like the 401k versus what we do. I think a lot of people are worried and they see it as gambling and they're like, "Oh, I could lose all my money."
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the problem.
Oh yeah.
When in reality, it's very very similar. I mean, you look at us, we've bet over 2,000 units so far. We've had 2,000 different transactions on the year.
I was gonna say we have over $200,000 that we put out because we do like $1,000 bets on everything.
Yeah, that's
So
our personal unit.
that's our
size.
personal unit size. But like we have over $200,000 out, and we're at 180,000 back.
Talking about like how much we're up on the.
Yeah,
We're up 171. At least that's what I am personally. I know you're.
I was gonna say I'm a little bit different, but
But I'm up 171.62.
yeah,
Is where I personally am with a 9.24% EV, which is absolutely ridiculous. And we can kind of get into what EV is if we really want to. But where we're at is it's just nuts. But hey, this is our job. This is what we do. We're really good at this.
well, and the other reason that we have everything, so preface this, we had talked a lot about pricing because we can kind of cover that really quick too. But we had talked a lot about pricing and how we were going to price everything out because there are some people where their everything package for the year is like $10,000.
Oh yeah, it's over 10 grand.
It's insane. It's
and
justified.
With them, you're not going to get the same amount of picks as we give out,
right?
And you're also not going to hit at the same percentage that we hit at,
right? But we wanted to make
they
it.
Have 30,000 followers on Twitter, so
yeah. But we wanted to make it so that everybody had access to this and that, the casuals, would be able to start betting and start making serious money. Because, I mean, in this economy, I'm pretty sure everyone can use a little bit of extra money. So that's why the individual packages are priced at where they're at. Because, like TJ said, I mean, like when you have $500 for one of these packages, if someone's just barely breaking even after paying for a package, that's crazy to us. But I mean, like I said, and like we've been saying this whole time, right now our soccer package alone, which is a $50 package, has 19 point something X return. And currently, if Juventus decides to score one more time in this game, which I just clicked back over to it to check on it,
still 2-0.
Yeah, if they score one time this game, we'll be over 20 units quite literally in 11 days, which is insanity. Like, and I don't think.
Yeah, well, I mean, our soccer package so far, just plays wise, we're 39-17. That's 70%. When you look at units, because of all the juice, because soccer has a little more juice to it. 44.35 and 25.05 is where we're at, which is still about just under 64%. And again, if we can get one more goal in this game, that'll just be another winner. That'll sweep the day.
Yep.
I mean, and that just really
That'll
kind of
be our
gets to
third
the
sweep in a week, by the way.
not even a week.
Not even a week, like a few days.
Yeah. I mean, and that kind of gets to the fact that, like, this can be a really lucrative side hustle. I mean, anybody can make a killing betting on sports, and you don't even really have to put in any work at all. You just let us put in all the work.
Yeah.
And all you'll have to do is visit your email every day and then get the bets in for yourself. It literally can be
And the
done in
app
20
when it
minutes,
comes out.
which hopefully will be soon.
Which hopefully will be soon. It needs to get
approved. You go to our website, you grab a monthly or a season-long package or an individual sport or the everything. I mean, especially because once more sports here get picking up as the winter with college basketball and NBA and NHL and like the everything package that we have priced at $150 becomes just a steal.
Yeah.
I mean, and at the end of the day, if you don't want to go with us and you go with somebody else, and you can, good on you. Hope you make a lot of money, but I'd venture to say you are not going to get the returns for doing anything else, whether that's picking another handicapper, whether that's 401k, whether that's stock portfolios. I mean,
getting into crypto.
Money you can make, with only 10, 20 minutes of work a day, I mean, you're just not going to beat this. And then when you can take $5,000 investment, don't touch the money and let it roll over and roll over and roll over.
Yeah.
And be at $1,000 unit size and $100,000 within 2 years, depending on how the years go. And then after that, then you're making that really good six figures. I mean, it's tough to beat it.
Right. Well, we do have a question if you want to answer a question real quick.
Yeah, what's that?
NFL fantasy draft is on Thursday. Any ideas on who to target right away first week?
So I do not do anything fantasy football anymore. The reason for that is it's the same reason why I don't fill out like a lot of brackets or college, like the NCAA tournament. I'll do one like a year. I don't do fantasy football because it's a different way of looking at sports. When you're looking at individual matchups and not team success, I mean, you can kind of equate it to player props, but we don't really get into that as much because the returns that we have with everything else, there's no real need to. We don't need it to make money. So it's kind of tough. So to be honest, I can't really give you one way or another as far as the fantasy football draft goes, just purely because of that. I have not looked at a fantasy football like average draft position of anybody in years.
But
if you have any questions about the NFL in general, that I can
answer. Right. No, but however, if only they had soccer draft, I could do one hell of a fantasy like soccer draft. Because I have all of their stats. I could pull up the SQL
well, I mean,
right now.
I have all the stats of the individual players, but that is not necessarily what you go by for. Because
because I have to start setting up the rags for everything. And
I mean, I would assume, as far as the NFL fantasy drafts go, that you're going to get like a Christian McCaffrey early on. Just because that you get like running backs, wide receivers, you're not going to draft a quarterback early unless things have changed since I've done it all. That's kind of how the approach used to be with it.
Beats me.
I don't know if we're going to get that call.
But no, I mean,
I think they're VAR.
Oh, I also got a DM message asking if we ever do parlays. So if you want to talk about like what a parlay is, are they popular? Like, if you want to go over that really quick too, because that's another.
I will get into that in 1 second. We just got our third goal.
Mood.
That is a winner live. Over 2.5.
I just got the alert.
Sweep on the day for soccer That is a plus 105.
Fuck yeah. It hasn't
Easy.
updated.
I just watched it. It's a
I was gonna
PK.
say it hasn't updated on
Upper
Google.
corner.
How about this? How do you think the CD contract will affect things? He's
Games.
updating things quick. Hold on.
Sheets. Hold on. We'll get one thing at a time. We'll start with the parlays.
Okay, we'll do the parlays and then move on. And then we'll talk about CD's contract.
Yeah. So, anyway, getting back to it after our sweep has.
I can't wait to watch it. I was gonna say I'll tweet out the thing.
All right. So a parlay is where you're taking multiple bets, putting them together, in order to increase your odds and to win bigger payouts. Kind of like you're trying to hit a home run, so to speak, or like the lottery, where you can bet $10 and win 100, 200, depending on how many legs. But the fact of the matter is, parlays are a sucker bet. They are one of the biggest reasons why sportsbooks have a lot of bright lights. And there's a couple reasons for that. One is they don't pay out their true odds. So what that means is if you have a 3-team parlay and let's just say you put $100 to win 300. Well, what the casinos do is they keep some of that extra money, meaning it should probably pay out $350 instead of the 300, and it's just reduce some of their risk and liabilities. And
But again, that also does not mean that if you pay like $10 and have a 20-team parlay, that if it hits, you're gonna win 2 million. That's not a thing.
yeah, casinos won't take that many.
That's just
and you see those
a
tickets.
pet peeve of mine. I mean, oh my god.
And the other reason why is you can go 4 for 5 in a parlay, and you lose.
All right, it's on the Insta.
Okay, cool. When how we do everything with straight bets, you go 4 for 5, you just had a heck of a day. So like you can either win money doing that or you can lose money in a parlay. It really comes down to that. The only type of parlays I think that could be at least somewhat profitable is you can get some progressive parlays, or you can get some alt line player props potentially. You could get something along those lines. But if you're looking at just like a heavy money line favorite parlay, that's not a good way to go. Instead of losing that money on a parlay, put that money into whatever sports package at betsbets.com, and we will make you money instead of you losing it.
Factual.
But that's kind of where parlays are at.
Yeah. So CD's contract.
Believe it was for 34 annually.
Yes.
If I remember right. I mean, big time deal. I mean, well deserved. One of the better wide receivers in football. The only thing that I'd say about it is they've got to pay. Dak Prescott has to get his money. They're gonna have to pay Micah Parsons, and Jerry Jones paying CeeDee Lamb first. I think is very telling to what they potentially could do with Dak. And if you're gonna take and prioritize wide receiver over quarterback, you're gonna have the results like the Cowboys have had in the last 25, 30 years, really, where you don't have a lot of playoff success because the quarterback is the most important position on the field. You need a quarterback. People can talk all the crap they want about Mike McCarthy as a Super Bowl winning coach or Dak Prescott. Well, Dak Prescott's put up numbers. And it really comes down to, unless you're going to hit a home run in the draft, which the Cowboys, the likelihood of doing is a little bit lower because they aren't going to be in that top 5 because they got too much talent. It's tough to get that next guy, and especially when you got a guy in house, there's no real reason to. So I disagree with how the Cowboys have gone about things, but that doesn't take anything away from CD. It's phenomenal for him, for his family. I mean, this is a massive deal. Right. I believe it's just under the Jefferson deal he's one of the highest paid wide receivers in football now.
Do you think him choosing CD is telling them that they're possibly moving on from Dak Prescott?
Yes. Yeah. I think if they were, it's not like a 100% guarantee thing, but I think if they were going to stick with Dak Prescott, that deal would have already been done.
I can see it. Oh.
Yeah, I mean, that's where that kind of is.
We're almost at 1 million impressions on Twitter.
Saw that.
Yay!
Yep. Get this.
People are seeing that they could win money. Yay. I also love the people. You got a couple comments that were like, "You're just farming. You're just doing this. You're trying to get money." And it's like, bud, we're not even to the point of being able to monetize on these places.
I mean,
Like,
and eventually we'll be able to get there. Like the thing with it is this, like
it's funny.
we are hitting at such a rate.
I don't care.
The amount of money that we'll make in monetization is so low
Minuscule.
comparatively speaking. I don't care.
Yeah.
We could go the whole time with this and never. I mean, we talked about the numbers a little bit ago. Just
Yeah.
me personally, after the Juventus, I mean, on the month it's 16.8 now overall, 172.62 overall on the year.
Okay, so you're up $172,000.
172,620
Yeah.
in August. Yep.
I don't know. I'm just here. I just write code.
Yeah, you're doing a very good job.
It's a fun time. It's a really fun time. I was gonna say, just get the tweet out and
Yep.
I have the Insta thingy up. My gosh. You know.
If you're in the chat, go like up the tweet when it goes live here. For all the clients.
How much of the winnings would you recommend people put away for taxes?
Depends on what state you're in.
I was gonna do like if you're not in a fuck it, whatever it is, the federal tax where there's no state income tax, and then if there's a state with, okay, this person, Nevada, Bo is in Nevada, so no state income tax.
Yeah, so like with gambling tax, I mean, if you'd put, let's just say depending on where you're at, if you have the everything package for the year and you're betting $1,000 units and you're up very, very good six figures to this point in the season, I would recommend getting a tax expert to do all that. And they can help you because a lot of tax write-offs, a lot of different things like that we are not experts in. So I definitely recommend going and getting an expert to take care of that for you. That being said, roughly if you'd set 25-30% of it when it's all said and done aside, that should be more than enough to cover everything.
Right.
Again, you got to pay the tax attorney and let them do their job and lower that tax bill for you, because you will be paying a bill. If you're with us, you will not be getting a tax return. I'm
sorry.
You'll have to write a check.
Unfortunately.
But that has its benefits. Instead of working a 9 to 5, you can be sitting by the pool, hanging out with your kids, going on vacations, doing whatever. So that's kind of your trade-off.
Yeah.
But that being said, that's kind of where I would start. You put that 25-30%, and you're more than good. That should cover everything.
And keep in mind that you can also make that 25-30% up in the first couple months of the new year. So while you should obviously set some aside, you don't have to set it all off to the side right away. Like, it can be a premeditated, oh, well, I just need to make 10 units. Well, what were we in January and February? Plus, like...
January was plus 33.8. February, we made 46.82. And in March, we made 21.3.
So, in the 3 months that you would need to set up and pay taxes, you would have easily made the amount to pay your taxes.
101.94 units in the first 3 months of the year.
So, on $1,000 units, $101,000.
You would have made $100,000 in 3 months.
So, there is that as well. There is that layer to it.
Not trying to unit shame anybody. Okay. I mean, that's what it's called.
Yeah, it is,
Like,
but
you start with $1,000. Okay, let's say $1,000 is what you can afford to put in right away.
mhm.
All right, that $1,000, we recommend betting 1% of your bankroll per unit.
Yeah.
So what you've got $10. You let that thousand just roll over, roll over, roll over,
Mhm.
and make you money, and then you take that money, and as you make more, your bet size goes up. And believe me, once you hit that $10,000 mark, it starts
You're
going exponentially.
you're gone. Yeah.
Yeah. Um,
Goodbye.
so with just $1,000 in, a couple years, and you'll be at $1,000 units then with us,
Yeah.
and then you're making the big dollars. I mean, think about it like this: if you're 24 years old, and you can say by the time you turn 28, you can have an income. It's not fixed, but you can make and have an income where you're making hundreds of thousands of dollars a year for $10 worth of work a day. Would you do it?
Right.
I mean,
Literally.
now, in the meantime, you may still be working while this is building. You could treat it like it's a 401k, whereas you make more money in your actual job. You can put more in, which again speeds that up exponentially. But you start small, grow,
Mm-hmm.
and it can replace your career within a couple of years.
Right. And then your job is literally waking up in the morning, or, I mean, because most of our bets we get in like the day before, or we give out the day
Oh
before.
yeah, we send out all our stuff
Um,
early usually.
yeah, it's always early. Um, but you set up the bets, and then the next day you literally get to kick back in your recliner or wherever the hell you have
It's
like your
about
TV
cool.
set up, and you get to watch sports all day. And I mean, it's literally joking around. It's living the dream, you know.
I mean, how
And
many people would love to do that? And
right,
we're giving the that opportunity to people. And again,
right,
where we've got everything priced at price wise, it is, we believe it is extremely affordable and should be told a steal. Because again, if we're looking at for the year, we'll say we have a year package $1,500.
yeah,
Well, if we have 4,500 units sent out in bed in a year,
yeah,
I mean each dollar represents 3 plays. So
yep,
each individual play is worth 33 cents.
yep.
Like,
We're giving
I
out
mean,
plays at
if
33
you look
cents.
at today, each play being 33 cents, and let's just use $100
Sorry.
better. So we had 2 plays, 3 units. So for about $1 of value, you made 3 units and you'd be up $300.
300 bucks.
That's
Uh,
for $100.
I've asked this before, but I don't remember the answer. After buying a package, how much would you say would be the minimum to start betting with to start making money?
Okay, so what I would suggest with that, and I'll just use our soccer package as an example.
Because soccer's
Right now for soccer, it's a $50 per month. You get 30 days of plays. That includes the EPL, La Liga, the Bundesliga, Serie A, MLS, Liga MX, anything you can, like the big soccer leagues that you can think of. We have
yeah,
them all. It's all included in that one package. So for $50, we are now up 20.35 units on the month in 2 weeks.
yes,
Now let's even say we give a little back and have a bad week next week, and we end the month right around where we're at right now,
yeah.
making, we'll just say 15, 20 units.
Okay.
Well, for that $50 package, if you bet $10 per bet, or $10 units, you would be up 20 or 200 and what, 3 or so, $203.50 or so.
Yeah.
For a $50 package, subtract that, your profits would be $150
Right.
for $10. So if you can do that, that's probably a good place to start. But even cutting that in half, if you go $5 bets, you'd be up about 100 minus the 50 for the
You'd have
package,
doubled
and
your
you've
money.
still doubled your money with only betting $5 per unit on a bet.
And $5 per unit on like really busy weekends, you're gonna need how many units just off
It
to the
depends on the
side?
time of year. For example, on Saturday, we had a big day of soccer.
It
I
was a
think
long slate.
we bet 26 units or so in soccer.
Yes.
Um, so what what we look at is if you're doing $5 units, that is a $500 bankroll. I
Yeah.
would recommend trying to get to that point where you can do $10 units would be my recommended start point. Um, where
So
at this point,
recommend having $1,000 set off to the side so you can do $10 units.
yeah, I mean, you
Um,
just looking at the comment, you could do five, um,
yeah,
but you look at like the monthly soccer. I'll pull that up.
yeah.
So in August we're up 20.35 units. Going back to July, which again stuff shut down. You had the Euros, you had Copa America, you had the Olympics, all that stuff, and there was no European soccer, so that was just the MLS and Liga MX, which is the Mexican league. We made
Yes.
13.3 units for that month.
Woo.
All right. So for a $10 per unit, we would have made, what is it, 133?
133, yeah.
Take the 50 out, and you would have made $83 on your $50 investment. So I would recommend starting with the 10, and just
If at
letting
all
it build that.
possible. You
If you
can
can,
do the 5, but it
your margins are just a lot smaller. But
it would be a lot closer, and we don't want anyone to ever lose money with us. Obviously, that's kind of like the no shit
yeah,
Sherlock. We never want people to lose money with us, so having that extra set off to the side
mm-hmm.
definitely would recommend. But could you get in on $5 units and then add to your bankroll with each paycheck, sort of a thing? Yes, totally could. That's
Yeah.
not an issue. Okay, what about with a football package?
So football is a little different. I'll talk about NFL first.
Good.
Actually, I have the NFL plate is all right here, showing you guys. But it's week one. We pretty much got that done. Um, the difference with the NFL is because they only primarily play Sundays. No, they've got the Thursday night game, we got the Monday night game, but for the most part, it's just Sundays. So on a given Sunday, we may have, we'll say 10. Let's go 10 to 15. Mm-hmm. So in a month, there's only going to be, I'll just use the 10, so 40 bets.
40 bets.
We have 40 units bet in a month. So at 40 bets, let's just say we have a good month and go 25 and 15.
I was going to say do 25, 15.
Yeah. I mean, if we go 25 and 15, that's down 16.5, so up 8.5 units because of juice.
Woo!
Which again, 25, and that's a great month. That's probably even a little over hyping, but again, it depends on how the actual bets fall for you.
Right.
But so if you're up 8.5 units to pay for that 50, again, $10 bets, you'd be up 85.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd recommend probably starting about the 10 as far as the NFL goes.
Yeah.
Now, if you're talking about football, both college, you got college football, you got pro football, soccer.
That's another story.
NHL, when you start to get into that, instead of getting each sport individually, just go with the everything for the month, which is $150, and you end up saving yourself some money because there'll be more than each sport is 50. When there's more than, if there's 4 sports going on, obviously, you can either pay $200 for everything individually or just get the everything for $150.
Yeah. And I mean, the other thing is you don't have to bet everything with the everything package.
You don't have to, but I would recommend.
It is recommended, but
it's up to you.
It's 100% up to you. But no, if you can bet $10 a bet across most of the packages, that would be the recommended amount. And then obviously just building whatever up in your bankroll that you can to get to the point of, okay, now the bankroll is sustaining itself on its own. It's living its best life over here, doing its thing, and then you have your money doing your thing, and this just grows and grows and grows like an investment while your money is doing your thing over here. And then it gets to the point where you're betting $500 units, and at the $500 unit mark, then instead of making, the couple $100, you're making a couple thousand a month. You don't necessarily need to have the job on the side over here, and you can
I
hop
mean, we're
back
not
in.
telling anybody to go quit their jobs
Right,
and get
but
in necessarily right away, but eventually you can definitely use this as a side income or even a primary income when it's all said and done.
right. But that's kind of what you want to build to, and obviously we know that most of the individuals that would be signing on with us won't have the $1,000 units that we're able to bring to the table right away and that we
We also didn't
advertise.
have that when we first started. Again,
Right.
we've been doing this a while. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, this is not a
Just a
new thing
year or
for us.
two or 5.
This is years and years down the road to get to where we're at, but
Yeah.
we're there.
I was going to say because we have about 2 decades between the two of us of handicapping, coding, and betting.
Yeah, it's definitely not
So
new.
we got it. And that's why we say and we joke around about it, but it's as honest as we can be. That's why we say if you don't want to do the 10 to 12 hours of work on average that it takes a person to actually prepare for bets the way
Mm-hmm.
that, like, instead of looking at it and doing an eye test and being like, this team's doing really good, this team's doing really bad this week, or it has been doing really bad, I'm gonna put it on this team, and then losing the bet half the time because it's like it just doesn't go into depth about everything, like every aspect of that. um Instead of doing that, you have two people, one who literally went to school to be an actuary, one who went to school to be a like software developer, having the software developer literally scrape the internet for everything that we need as far as the code is concerned, have it send it off and have our system do what we do. uh it's just everything combined together is what makes the investment worthwhile, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
And
I mean, at the end of the day, it'd be 10 minutes worth of work for you in order
yeah,
to have these returns and you're about to cross.
literally. And that's what we're trying to get for people is we we want to make sure that, like, instead of you having to do 12 hours of work and doing all that, you can be impressive in front of your friends, say, actually, I think we should bet this person this day, that seems like a smart idea. And having your friends all be on the other side of the bet and you winning the bet and just being like,
Told you.
told you.
Pretty much.
It's fun.
I
It's a
mean,
fun
and
time.
I
I
will
like
say
doing
this,
it.
though. With one of the most important things that you can about being a professional bettor is one, you have to understand that any type of winning day is a good winning day.
Mm-hmm.
It's still a win at the end of the day. Whether you win 0.1 units, 5 units, 10 units, doesn't really matter. If you
Mm-hmm.
slightly win every single day, you will be up huge at the end of the year. Let's just get
Right.
that real clear off the
Well,
top.
because just think about it this way: if you're winning 1 unit a day, 365 days a year on
Yeah,
$1,000 units, that's $365,000.
yeah. Like, and again, I mean, and with us at Bats Bets, we don't just talk about our win.
Yeah.
If we just did that, we wouldn't post all of our losses tickets onto our Instagram. Um,
Mm-hmm.
we show every ticket every day, no matter if it's a good day or bad day. Doesn't matter.
Yep.
Now we have a lot more good days than we do bad days because again, this is what we do.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're just in it for the short-term gratification, you're gonna lose in the long run because at the end of the day, this
Yeah.
is a marathon, not a sprint. And it's just again, it's just very important to remember a successful day by any measure in this industry is just a profitable day.
Yep. Easy enough. I'm trying to see if there are any other questions that people sent. Are there any off seasons when it comes to betting? So an off season, and they're talking about like seasons where like the Olympics, sort of like.
I mean, yeah, we definitely during the Olympics things got slow. Um, we don't have as much during the summer. We do our handicapping baseball, but we just can't quite get the code to at the hit rate that we would like to send it out. Um, So during the summer is definitely a lot less, which is good. It means you can just enjoy your time. Again, sit by the pool, hang out, grab a drink,
Enjoy.
hang out with some friends. Like it's not going to be too much. But outside of that, like we have sports going year round. It's just a
Yes.
matter of how many bets do we have. Um,
Yeah, because over the
but
summer
so
we also have MLS that's going. So MLS, you're getting
yeah,
scores.
WNBA, Liga
WNBA is
MX, like
going.
so. There's no real off season, but there is a slower season.
Yes.
Is the
And
best way to put it.
and yeah, and obviously with every slow season, there's going to be a point, and I don't want to freak people out, but there is going to be a point where we may have 100 bets over the weekend, like.
Yeah, but again, and that's I guess another thing that we can kind of touch on because one
Yeah.
of the other biggest things that you need in order to be a sports bettor is knowing how to handle a bankroll
Yes.
with your bankroll management. It's crucial because an improperly handled bankroll like no bankroll management skills, and it doesn't matter what you hit at, you're gonna lose money.
Right.
Like we use 1%, 2%, um, or it's 1, 2, and 3 is how we do
Mm-hmm.
it. So that's how I recommend. There are some people that will go like 2.5%, 3%, 3.5, and then 4.5, something along those lines.
Mm-hmm.
Um, for us, because we are more of a volume type company and handicapping approach, we don't like to do anything more than 3% of our bankroll on any given play. Um,
Yes.
so like that's probably where I would start.
Yeah.
Is to be completely honest, because even if you're not a very good handicapper, if you're only betting 1% of your bankroll play, it will take a long time to lose an entire bankroll if you're only
Yes.
betting 1%.
Yeah. Well.
Like it takes a long time learning those bumps in the road. Um, but again,
But
one of
that's
the
why you
best
have
things.
us. You cut
Yep,
out,
we've
I'd say, a good 75% of the bumps in the road just by purchasing a package.
I mean, and
Versus
should be told, like, if you want to do it yourself, by all means, go for it.
go
I mean,
for
if
it.
you have any questions, I'll answer them.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, it's just, there are a lot of, again, I'll use basketball as an example. There's a lot
Mm-hmm.
of people playing high school basketball right now across the country that think they could be in the NBA.
Yes.
Just because and they could be very good basketball players.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, growing up and playing basketball, because
That
dad
was
coached
that was the
college
goal.
basketball for over 20 years.
Yeah.
Like, believe me, grew up in the gym. Um, but at the same time, the NBA is, I mean, good luck. And even
Mm-hmm.
to D1 college basketball, like, good luck.
Mm-hmm.
Where for us, again, you may know sports, you may know math, you may be able to put the two together.
Mm-hmm.
But even that does not mean that you will be able to make money consistently in the long run doing this.
Yeah.
We've been doing this for years. Our
Yeah.
system is proven. We've ironed out all the kinks in the road. Like
Most of the kinks in the road.
I mean,
You
there's some
can't.
here and there, but I mean, we're at the same time though, we're up 172 units in 8 months.
Yeah.
Like, they're the quote unquote kinks in the road that we haven't ironed out are so minor that
Yeah.
and overshadowed by the fact that we've pretty much got, and especially soccer. I mean, European soccer, that
Factual.
we've got that down. Like, it's
Hell
just
yeah, we do.
you
Fuck
you
yeah.
can't argue the results. I mean, just in soccer alone on the year, we're up over 45. 45 of the 170 is just soccer.
Yeah.
Like,
Sorry.
I mean, it's good, and there's less plays in soccer than there are in college basketball,
Which is just even
because
more
there's
impressive.
a lot less games. But
And as far as are there any sports you don't bet on, like MLB yet? So MLB currently is the only sport that we have in the rotation, that we do not publish the plays for. Because again, we also want to give a certain level of quality to everybody. And when the code comes in and it says ABC or XYZ, we do track it. We do keep an eye on it just to see when it does hit that point of being good enough to give out to people. But every single league that is on our website that we publish, NBA, all the way to the NHL, all the way to soccer, all the like everywhere. All of those plays hit at such a percentage that us as a company, we were like, okay, listen, we can give this out to people.
Yeah.
So anything that is up there that we give out to people has been tried, tested, and proven to make money, and that's why it's up there. So, as far as any sports that we don't bet on, there's a lot of sports we don't bet on.
I mean, anything, because kind of how we do it is we predict a score, and then based off
Mm-hmm.
of the score, we get bets. So your sports, like, we don't do boxing or any like MMA or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
We don't do NASCAR. We don't do tennis or golf or anything along those lines because they don't have that final score, so to speak. So just how the code and how our algorithm, so like,
Mm-hmm.
is written, um, that's just not how we do it. Not to say that we couldn't potentially add that in the future, but for right now, again, we're pretty good with where we're at, so there's no real need to. Um, but yeah, like you said, everything on the website, a lot of time has gone into that. It's not like just uploading that stuff and giving out plays. Like, again,
Right.
we've got a lot of experience with this. We've been doing this for a while.
I was gonna say this is like code version like 5 for certain things. Like
Yeah.
we've gone through it, but we've also gone through it to make sure that anyone that is with us doesn't have to take those steps to go through it. And like TJ was
Mm-hmm.
saying, we have years of doing this. Um and it's literally all for the simple fact of we want to provide the best service possible and the most legitimate service possible
Yeah.
because of how many people are fake in this industry. So
Oh,
if
there's so many. I mean, there's just so many scammers, and that's just
yeah.
some of the stuff that you just gotta look out for. Is
Yeah.
when you're buying a package from somebody online. Again, not going to mention who a specific individual is, but he's got, we'll just say,
Mhm.
275,000 followers on Twitter,
Followers on Twitter. Yeah.
but never posts a ticket,
Mhm.
gives out bad lines after the fact, and doesn't know what he's doing,
Yeah.
and has also got affiliate deals with casinos.
Yeah.
You've got those people
But who
where
also
if you,
has like 16,000 people tailing him every day.
I mean, if you're paying for a package from somebody, whether it's
Mhm.
us or any of the other, I mean, there's thousands of
There's a
companies.
bunch.
Everybody
Yeah.
tries to be a professional sports bettor nowadays.
Mhm.
If they aren't showing you tickets, they aren't betting.
Mm.
It's as simple as that. If they're selling, what all they're doing is pocketing your money from your package and not
Yeah.
actually betting that money.
Yeah.
They're just pocketing it. If you see huge tickets,
It's not.
they are fake. Most casinos, especially as the mobile casino and sports books have taken over,
Yes.
they don't accept just the limits on those apps are such where, like, if you're seeing $20,000 bet, for example,
Mhm.
that's probably fake.
Yep.
Now, would a casino potentially take that in person? If you bring $20,000 worth in cash to Caesar's Palace, they might take it, but the
Mhm.
Caesar's Palace app will not.
And it,
They're
it
not
goes
going to take
and
that bet.
this isn't just for sports bettors. This goes all the way to like celebrities. The celebrities that put $1 million down and
See, now
those sort of
it's tough
things
because some of those instances
are real.
are real for the simple fact that
The casino wants
they're
them to
so they're
advertise
such
it.
casuals that
Yeah.
they're probably going to lose money in the long run.
Yeah.
And getting like a mattress mac to bet on the Astros in the playoffs, and who
Mhm.
somebody put $10 million in, it is just all advertising at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, they just
but it,
want the hype of, oh, this person came to our casino, did a ticket. So like those lines may be real just for the fact that like, oh, Usher came to MGM to bet $1 million
I mean,
on
yeah.
a thing. Like, that may be real, just so Usher can tweet out afterwards, hey, I just won or I just lost. Oh, shoot, $1
But
million.
again, that's all affiliate type
But
stuff.
it's
So
all
like
affiliate
those
stuff.
people aren't. I mean, and I'm not even really talking about like the celebs as much as the amount of people on, and you see it a lot on Twitter, on gambling Twitter,
Mm-hmm.
um, that have their bets or their walking bets is the latest thing where people take a walk outside and give out free
Yeah.
games.
Like, what?
Like, I mean, it's just so dumb. Like, and to be told, it gives
Mm,
us a bad rep as
yeah.
actual bettors because none of these people are making any money first and foremost.
Yeah.
I
No.
mean, you watch like ESPN bet, they don't have any actual bettors on there.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's not just ESPN. You get Fox. It's everybody.
It's
Like
everyone. Yeah.
you look for good looking individuals and put them on camera, and all of a sudden they're an expert in sports betting.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, well, no, you can come to Vegas. You'll find a bunch of people that do this for a living.
Yeah.
Like, pick one of them that actually knows what they're talking about,
Right.
and put them on camera instead of. And again, I'm not calling anybody out, but like, there is people that it's just a joke. I mean,
Yeah.
they don't make money. The amount of people that follow their plays aren't
Don't make
making
money.
money, and it's just dumb. But
Yeah.
that's the world that in the industry that we're in.
True. There's definitely a pet peeve vibe going on, though.
Well, it's again. I mean, we do this for a living. We've done this for a long time.
Yeah.
Everybody tries to get in on it, and it would be one thing. And I wouldn't even say anything if everybody was actually making money doing this,
Mm-hmm.
as all these scam decappers claim that they're doing.
Scam
But they're not.
capture.
I mean, and all they're
I
doing
love
is
that. That's good.
fooling their followers and trying to profit off of them. Well, average individuals, just your average mom and dad or best
Mm-hmm.
friend, whoever it might be, is losing money that they probably shouldn't be losing because gambling
Right.
can get addictive.
True.
Um, and they're just taking advantage of that, and it's just not right.
Yeah.
And that's why we keep our prices a little lower.
Yeah. No, 100%. Like I said, I go into this with a full intent of providing an extra source of income for individuals who may not necessarily be able to have that source of income, who just want a quick, I need 10 minutes to hop onto the MGM app
Now,
and
I
get
will
some
say
bets.
this though: if you're looking for a get rich quick type
That's not us.
game,
Sorry.
that is not sports betting.
Yeah.
Like, it's not just us. That's not anybody.
Right.
It is a marathon, not a sprint. We will make a lot of money over the long run.
Right.
Now, we'll have days like today where we sweep, but we on 2 plays we made 3 units. So if you're betting $10 units, you only made $30 today.
Yeah.
But only making $30 doesn't take away from the fact that as a whole we're up six. You'd be up about $170 on the month.
Mm-hmm.
So again, it is a marathon. If you're looking for the lottery ticket type win, sports betting is not the place to do it.
And again, because we touched on parlays earlier, parlays are not the way to do it either. Okay,
No,
so please,
neither are
no.
teasers. Teasers are the same
Teasers.
kind of thing. Like,
Oh my gosh.
the promo type bets that the casinos give to you with boosted odds or whatnot, they're boosted odds for a reason.
Right.
Even if you win that bet, they're hoping that you'll give that money back on future bet. It's all one big. I mean, that's just the industry. The casinos are there to make money. That's why Caesars is an MGM, and that's what they do. They make money, and our job is to make money off of them.
Yeah. When it comes to sports betting, where would you say to actually do the betting, in person or on an app? If possible, on an app.
Well,
Because
it
I
makes things
personally
so
don't
much easier.
like heading to the casino every day. I am a Vegas local, so going down to the Strip is an ick, respectfully. But
it makes it so much easier.
Yeah.
Like, I've done both. I've walked to the casino every single day or driven to a casino every day to get bets in person.
Yeah.
now, as the apps have gotten bigger and bigger and more relevant, that's I do everything from my house.
Yeah. Any favorite
I've
apps?
got it.
Whatever one has the most money on it, because they're all about
Whatever
the
one
same.
has the best line.
Yeah.
So you shop lines, and whatever has the best number is where you bet it. Other than that, I mean, I would much rather bet at like Stations Casino here in Vegas than Boyd because comps are a
Hmm.
lot better.
Yeah.
Because that's the other thing that people don't necessarily talk about is the amount of comps that you can build up as a sports bettor. It's not what it used
Yes.
to be, but it's still like a
It's
legit
so
thing.
nice being able to
I
hop over to
mean,
the casino and get like a free meal because you have that
yeah.
many points.
Um, but yeah, so you could do in person, you could do on the apps.
Hmm.
I'd recommend probably just doing it on the app, especially because it's just so
Like you'll
much
have to
easier.
set it up in person initially, unless you have like a DraftKings or a FanDuel and you're in those types of states. But with you being in Nevada, you'll have to set it up in person. Like you just have to walk up to the sports book and like prove your identity. Like say, hey, I'm
Yeah,
over 21. But the second you have it set up, then any point after that, like going forward, any point after that, you can do everything off the apps. And I mean, I know because I mainly just look at MGM, especially with soccer right now. I know with MGM, you can actually hook up your bank account to it to like
yeah,
withdraw
that's
money
started to
straight
be
from
one of
there.
the things.
So I appreciate like those sort of things where I can just withdraw the money instead of having to go down to any of the MGM properties on the strip. I can just withdraw the money straight to my bank account, and I don't even have to worry about traveling outside of the house, and I can be a little gremlin indoors.
I mean, yeah, it's again one of
Yay!
the things, and we put in all the work so that other people can just you get on in the morning, you get the bets or the night before,
Yep.
especially with soccer, you get it the night before. I mean,
Yeah.
you wake up, you sleep until 11, and you've already had two
Two
slates of games,
two
and
games done.
you're up a lot of money, and
Yep.
you were sleeping.
Hmm.
So it's definitely
It's really nice.
it's a lot of fun.
Yeah. But so but as far as apps, um, MGM for soccer is probably the one we use the most.
Yeah, I mean, again, like MGM is also the probably one of the easier ones.
Mm-hmm.
It completely comes down to what has the best line.
Yeah.
It's not, and even if it's not MGM all the time, I mean, Caesars is pretty good in soccer. We bet a
Mm-hmm.
lot of like it's called the handicap, where we'll take a team minus or plus a goal or a half a goal.
Yes.
Um, we
We
do
do
that
a lot
quite a
of those.
bit, and that type of stuff you're not going to be able to get at like a stations. That's
Yeah.
primarily like some of the smaller ones or off strip sports books. So just talking soccer, you'll be able to get money lines and the total,
Yeah.
but not the spreads.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so that's why you get everywhere, and whatever's got the best line is where you bet it.
Yep. And if you're on FanDuel or DraftKings or those sort of things, hell, they give you those lines. Have you seen some of the plays on there?
Yeah, I mean they do a lot of
That's
promo type stuff.
they
That's
do.
usually what you'd be seeing.
It's crazy though. Like I
Because
wish.
so yeah, but at the same time, like you got to remember, there's only one like how do I explain this? So Pinnacle is an offshore sports book.
Okay.
They're quote unquote grandfather of everything, where they post a line and then casinos in Las Vegas copy it. That's
Rude.
typically how it goes. Las Vegas casinos and sportsbooks have gotten incredibly lazy with a lot of stuff. Where really the only sharp sports book left in Vegas is Circa.
I was gonna say Circa, probably.
Circa is sharp.
Yeah.
Nobody else is really a sharp book, and that's why they also ban and limit people who actually make a lot of money. Circa
Freely.
doesn't do that.
Yeah.
Like Circa, you never really have to worry about any of that stuff, which is definitely nice. Um, but even limited, because you've still got Circa and you'll be able to spread stuff out, it's not a problem for what we do.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and for clients to be able to get stuff in if they are in the Vegas area, like yeah, you're probably going to get limited. Um, William Hill may ban you, but
Yeah.
again, we use 11 different apps.
Yeah.
Like
Well, and that's
you're
also
good.
why we do $1,000 units across 11 different places. so that we limit the risk of getting limited or banned. Like that is one of the reasons
I
why
mean,
we're not.
it's as sports betting has gotten bigger, they've just started doing that a lot more, and there's no real way around it.
Yeah.
But again, because there's enough options, it doesn't necessarily impact us and our ability to make money.
But yeah, that's kind of where we're all at though, because we have
Mm-hmm.
had a couple questions. Oh, why don't you bet over $1,000? Or we've had to address it a couple times. At least having it on
Yeah,
a video, we can post it somewhere and be like, reference this.
I mean,
Um,
you can. We use the other thing about $1,000 units is it's not necessarily just not being greedy, but again, we have had the success we've had with this. We don't need to go more. A
yeah,
3 unit play, like there'll be some plays where we'll bet 5 grand play. Like a soccer 3 unit play could have 5 grand down.
true.
But
I was
again, I
gonna
mean,
say there
it's
was one that we had 2 or 3 down and got 8 for the other day.
yeah. I mean, and again, and
It's a thing.
I don't. It's not trying to unit shame anyone with where we're at because again, we weren't
It's just
always
easy
here.
to describe that
Well,
and
I
then
mean, and
take
it's the
off
goal.
zeros.
It's anybody who becomes a client of ours and has long-term aspirations, so to speak, of doing this
Factual.
as a secondary
Factual.
income. That's where you want to get to.
Yeah,
Like, um, and
100%.
again, it's you wake up, you get bets, you put 10 minutes worth of work. If you want to watch the games, you can. If you don't want to watch anything, you don't have to. You don't even have to like sports or want to watch sports in order to do this.
Literally. That's what you pay us for. Like, that's why it's $50 a month for individual leagues. That's why it's $150 for everything. Like,
Yeah.
we will handle it all. We got you, you know, like part of the fam level. We got you. And all you have to do is get the place. Like,
Yeah, it's really easy. They go right to your email.
and
Hopefully, our
again,
app will get approved here shortly,
I
and
was gonna
everything
say
will
we're
be through
waiting for
that.
the app to get approved, and then you get a notification on the app. Like,
Yeah, and it'll just again,
I'm
it's
checking.
very easy to use. It's very straightforward. Like in soccer, we tell you exactly what league because somebody may not know where Guadalajara is.
Right.
Um,
Or
in
Club
Liga
Tijuana.
MX, yeah, I mean,
Like,
you may so we
it's okay.
point that stuff out,
We got you.
um, and we go from there. But
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean that. Do you have a package yet where you do literally everything or plans for that? Everything package.
yep, we have that.
Yep. But because we can't make bets for you,
Yeah,
so the only thing, like, we are limited as far as what we can do. We can only make recommendations for you to do, if that makes
yeah.
sense. So yeah, we aren't able to bet for you. Which yeah, that's what I thought you meant when I started saying it. I was like, hold on. We can't do it for you. That is against the law. It is against
Yeah,
the law, right?
we
I'm not.
can't.
Yeah. But
I mean, you could technically. I mean, you could have people make like you can have runners. There's definitely a lot of gray area with it, but
true.
I can't physically sit here, have it like on my iPad or on my phone and bet for somebody else. That you
Yeah.
can't. And even if you could, like, I'm not
That's a
gonna risk
lot,
any of that because at the end of the day, this is our career.
yeah,
Like, we're not trying
unfortunately.
to risk not being able to bet or getting blacklisted or anything
Yeah.
like that. Um, Doing anything like that. So,
But
but
yes.
believe me when I tell you, it is very easy to do on your own. Like,
It really is. And it's like if you have enough time to scroll through TikTok for a couple swipes and send a TikTok video to someone that you found funny, you have enough time to sports bet.
yeah,
It does not take long. It's 3 buttons that you have to push. Like most of the time you just
yeah.
click on the button, you click on the amount and you click enter. And we will tell you exactly which ones they are, exactly which league they're in. Like
how many units to bet.
I feel
We tell
personally
you
attacked.
all that.
Don't feel personally attacked. But we tell you everything, where to go for it, buttons, like we gotcha.
It is very easy. It really is.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, that we do as much for you as possible, and then with the everything package as well, because I don't know if we have it advertised. I do have to add it into the description. But with the everything package, we also open, because lines of communication are open at all times for us, but they're especially open for us to help with bankroll management and setting up. It's kind of like a financial aid add-on.
Yeah.
Where we'll walk you through the bankroll management. If y'all have any questions about anything regarding that, if you need to, oh, well, I only have a certain number of dollars, and this weekend I'm going to have to spend like 30% of my bankroll on all this stuff, we can kind of walk you through and kind of break down, well, okay, bankroll management wise, I would do these games first, and then at this time I would do these games, at this time I would do these games, so you're not putting your whole bankroll on the line. You know, we do also do those sort of things that our clients can see in the post feed. So we do walk people through all of that stuff too. So we try to help in as many ways as possible. Well, you're not left out to dry. We got you with it.
Yep.
But yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot to figure out. But yeah, fun times though. I enjoy it.
Yeah. It's pretty easy, like I said.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're using it as a secondary income, all you got to do, you put that 10 minutes of quote unquote work in the morning, and you're good to go. So.
Yep. But yeah, other than that, oh yeah, he backed away from his microphone for a second. They're like, we can barely hear him. But yeah, other than that, I think that'll pretty much wrap up this first one. We're gonna try streaming on here a lot more just going forward. But if there are any questions or there are any things, tweet at us, message us on Insta, message us on Discord. You know, we will answer. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. We're kind of on this constantly. So we'll get questions, we'll get everything like that handled, and like I said, I'm here to help people make as much money as possible. So is he. We're here for the vibes, the good times, and hopefully we can cash as many people tickets at the window as possible, and we'll kind of just go from there. But yeah, I mean, is there anything else you wanted to add on any of this?
No, I think we pretty much covered it all. It was another good day.
Yep.
Soccer continues to be red hot.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's nothing really else to say about that.
Thumbs up. Okay. But yeah. All right. Well, we'll hop off here and we'll get the rest of the. I need to screenshot the tickets from yesterday, but I'll go through and I'll do that really quick, and we'll get yesterday's tickets up on the Insta, and tomorrow we'll have the soccer sweep that we just did today up on the Insta too. So we will see you guys the next time that we do this. Like I said, we're going to try to do this consistently, so fingers crossed we actually can efficiently do that consistently, you know. It is me. I'm never consistent, but it's okay. But yeah, all right, we'll see you guys later. All right, see you guys. Bye.